Hi, Scary Recaps here. Today, I'm going to explain the movie All the Boys Love Mandy Lane from 2006. Beware of spoilers. At a high school in Texas, Mandy Lane is the most beautiful and popular girl with the boys. Dylan, one of her classmates, invites Mandy over to a pool party. She accepts and takes her best friend, Emmett, with her. Dylan hits on Mandy and says how hot she is, but he ends up harassing her when Emmett interrupts him. Dylan gets angry and attempts to drown Emmett in the pool. Mandy asks Dylan to stop, and both he and Emmett move away from each other. Later on, a drunken Dylan approaches Emmett, who is sitting on the roof alone, having a drink. They talk about Mandy, and somehow Emmett convinces Dylan to jump off the roof and into the pool in order to impress Mandy. But Dylan smashes his head on the edge of the pool and dies. 9 months later, Mandy continues to be adored by pretty much everyone at the high school, whereas Emmett stands on the opposite edge of popularity. Even Mandy shuns him now, preferring to be with Dylan's friends. Meanwhile, a classmate named Red is planning a party at his ranch and does whatever it takes to get Mandy to come. Chloe, a cheerleader, manages to persuade Mandy to come to the party. Mandy's aunt, Jo, tells her to be careful and allows her to attend Red's weekend party. Red, Chloe, and a few other students drive to the ranch. On their way, they stop at a gas station where the boys steal a barrel of beer from a stranger, and the girls do drugs in the toilet. All the while, Mandy is silently watching them. Soon afterwards, the group arrives at the ranch, and Mandy decides to walk rather than take the car inside the farm. One of the boys, Bird, accompanies her, and while they're talking, he attempts to kiss her when Garth, the ranch hand, comes along and drives them to the house. Later on, Mandy goes running while her classmates take a swim in the lake. Mandy joins them, and the boys start to tease her. A water snake comes at them, and Garth shoots it dead. That night, the students play Truth or Dare, and Mandy selects Dare, whereupon she is asked to go and invite Garth inside the house. Garth politely refuses to her, and Mandy walks back into the house. Jake, one of the boys, gets offended and storms out. Marlin accosts Chloe for being too sarcastic and goes after Jake. Marlin finds Jake in the stable and tries to comfort him by performing oral sex on him. When they're done, Jake walks away and leaves Marlin alone in the stable. But she is not entirely alone, as someone comes from behind and knocks her out. Moments later, Marlin is lying on the ground when her unknown assailant thrusts the barrel of a shotgun into her mouth, mimicking the act of oral sex. He pushes the gun further into her mouth until he breaks her jaw. Meanwhile, back at the house, the lights go off. Bird goes outside to start up the generator, and Jake tries, unsuccessfully, to entice Mandy. It is revealed that Jake has turned the power off in order to have his chance with Mandy, but as he has failed, he turns the lights back on. Soon, Bird, Red, and Chloe return to the living room. Jake then has a crazy idea of night swimming, and so takes the truck, but instead, he goes searching for Marlin. Jake finds Marlin near the lake, but as he goes near to her, she vomits blood, and an unseen assailant throws Jake into the water, aiming at him with a shotgun. Jake dives to save himself, but as he resurfaces for air, the unknown man shoots him in the head and kills him. Back in the house, Garth says that he has heard gunshots and asks from Red what is going on. It is revealed that the killer is Emmett, who, as he walks out of the lake, breaks Marlin's neck with the stock of the gun. Garth tells Red and his friends to stop drinking. Emmett is in a state of vindictive delirium and stalks his classmates. Mandy takes Chloe upstairs to calm her down when Red and Bird intrude. The group relaxes on the porch when a truck approaches them. While they think it is Jake, Emmett throws fireworks at them and leaves with Bird, following in pursuit. Garth comes in and goes to phone Red's father to notify him of what is happening. Red begs him not to do it, but Garth doesn't listen until Mandy pleads with him and Garth hangs up the phone. Bird runs behind the truck until it stops and sees Emmett is in the driver's seat. He asks him what he is doing there and what has become of Jake and Marlin. Emmett replies that they are dead and that he is not done yet. Bird beats him, but he is surprised when Emmett slashes his face with a knife and blinds him. As Bird crawls away, trying to escape, Emmett stabs him to death. In the meantime, Garth spends the night with Red, Chloe, and Mandy, sharing a story with them. In the morning, Garth and Mandy discuss about her friends. Emmett secretly enters the house and turns on the radio upstairs, successfully distracting Garth away from the kitchen where Mandy is sleeping. Emmett goes to her and caresses her hair before Garth returns and sees a bloody handprint on the fridge and the message, "Wake up," written on it. As Garth and Mandy wake up Red and Chloe and ready themselves to leave, Emmett shoots at Garth and wounds him. Mandy tends to Garth, and Red and Chloe leave the house, running towards the car at the gate. They discover the bodies of Jake and Marlin on the path and are terror-stricken. They eventually reach the car, but before they can leave, Emmett shoots Red and Chloe runs away. Emmett chases Chloe, and Mandy goes to the shack to get the keys to Garth's truck and a bloody knife to protect herself. As she comes out, she sees Chloe being hunted by Emmett. Chloe comes to Mandy, who stabs her in the belly, showing that she had planned this all out with Emmett from the start. Emmett and Mandy talk now about killing themselves, saying that this is what they have agreed. Mandy is supposed to take pills and then shoot Emmett, but as she kisses Emmett, she realizes that what Emmett has done was made to make her fall in love with him. Mandy drops the pills and Emmett is frustrated, pointing the shotgun at her. Garth appears and shoots Emmett, who in return stabs Garth with a machete. Mandy runs away and falls into a ditch filled with dead cattle. Emmett attacks her and they fight. Mandy manages to climb out of the ditch and takes a log to defend herself. Emmett's machete gets stuck in the log and Mandy succeeds in killing him. Mandy walks back to an unconscious Garth. She looks as if she is about to finish him with the knife, but instead, she stabs the knife into the ground and wakes him up. Mandy then carries Garth to his truck and leaves with him. Unaware of her being one of the perpetrators, Garth says to Mandy that she made it, that she has saved them. In the end, Mandy was the mastermind of this slaughter. The last scene of the film shows Mandy walking on a railroad track, staring at her victims.